Hello and welcome to week number a lot and episode even more. Today I'm putting up the ceiling battens, so I'm just going to video me doing one. So largely it's okay and just a case of screwing them to the ceiling, but what I've noticed is that the battens are not exactly 100% level. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've worked out where they're level, and I'm screwing the battens to the back cross battens which are level. Then what I'm doing is putting packers where the battens are slightly higher. And this is because these panels don't sit 100% flat. They're slightly on an angle where they join. Where they join, the lower one is slightly lower than the one that it butts into. So that means that the battens that are going this way are slightly up and down. So when you put your cross battens on, if you just screw them up, your cross battens will be doing that. It's not massive and it'll probably be fine. The plaster would you wouldn't probably even notice, but what I don't want is the ceiling to look wavy. So I'm just, as I say, fixing the ones which are flat, leaving the ones which aren't flat, then squeezing a packer in and then screwing them in. And I'm checking, is it flat with the bottom of the level? So now I'm going to put one in. And of course I'm using my trusty old support at one end, up there, because these are 4.8 meters long. So and I've marked on the battens, as I was going through, I marked on the battens exactly where I want them. And what I also have done is marked where the 120 is, because I want that to be exactly in the right place, because I want to make sure that when the plasterboard goes in, it joins exactly. So this one is one of the ones where the plasterboard will join. So I've got that point marked. Then you've got to push the batten up, fix it in. I'll go to another one which I know is flat, which should be this one. Make sure it's in the right place. It should be there. I'm actually putting 2 screws in most of these, once I notice it's in exactly the right place. You've probably got a really loud impact noise. Like this one I know is low, so I'll fix this one in. Again, making sure that this is going to line up exactly with the 120, so that I know, use a prop up there, that my plasterboard will join nicely in the middle. there. Right. Now I'm going to move to using my platform. So that one's in. So this is where I now make sure it's flat. So I'll get my long level. Hold it up underneath. So these first 1, 2, 3 are flat, but this one is higher up. So I'm going to fix these in first. You know, this is probably overkill, but I'd rather know that the ceiling's as flat as I can make it. And it's not really taking much longer than just fixing it straight to the battens. I'm just pushing the battens up as well when I screw through, just to make sure that the two pieces are in contact. So this one needs that 2mm packer in there. And with a 2mm packer, that's flat, pretty flat. So now I'll just go straight through, up through that packer. Just keep the two compressed. That's fine. To there. So this one now. So this one, again, this one's touching, this one's touching, but there is a gap there and there is a gap on that one. So first of all, I fixed the one that was touching, which is this one. I'm just putting two in on an angle. Just because they're quite small screws. They're only 45mm tall, because I can't go through both battens into the ceiling. So I'm just using 2. All right. So now this one, I mean, it is only, that one's only 1 mil, which is hardly anything, but still, may as well make it as flat as I can. This one needs a 2 mil packer, and then if I check, that's nice and level. Also, you know, what's the plasterer going to do if he turns up and says, oh, I don't like it, it's not level, I'm not going to plaster it, which you probably wouldn't, but still. I've got the mic on again. I wonder how the audio is going to be. Is he right next to this impact driver? Okay, that's that one more screw in there. Now, the last two actually are requiring more packers. So they actually, like, they're needing a 4 and a 5 mil packer. Or actually, it could even be, what is it? A 5 and a 6 actually. A blue and a red. So again, same technique. So now everyone is fixed, that's fixed, that's fixed. Every other one this way, I've had to go blue and red. Then get my level again. Lenny the level, as Dylan calls him, the MVP, most valuable player from the gaming world. That's what Dylan calls him. Lenny the level, the most valuable player in the building of a summer house. Just again, make sure that's dead in line with. So I've marked on this wall here 120 from that wall, because that's how wide the plasterboard is. So I know exactly, I want this batten bang in the middle. These ones don't matter too much because they're in the middle of a plasterboard. But this one, the plasterboard is going to join on this batten. So I've marked that distance. So I get it right in the middle. So the plasterboard has, you know, support on each side. Hopefully, this works. Now, what I might do on this one is, when fitting these ceiling battens, just a bit of timber that's just oversized. You can just wedge it in, just to push up the batten. To hold it in place while you screw it in. Simple. So that's that one done. Move that over, ready for the next one. So that's that. I'm not going to hang off here. I know Liam in Oakland Garden Rooms hangs off here. It's tempting, but I don't think I'm going to do it. But it does feel pretty solid after my testing as well. I know it will take away the plasterboard. I'll put a link to that video here somewhere, there somewhere, to show the video where I tested the weight that these panels could take, and will they take the weight of the ceiling, which that test showed they would. So that's it, that's those in. I've got 1, 2, 3 more to do. One other thing I have done as well, on the last one, which goes against the wall, I did it on that one, and I'll do it on this one. I've just set the circular saw on 4 degrees and just taken off this side, this corner at 4 degrees, so that this batten that's against that wall fits flush against the wall and it's flat against the wall and makes the right angle on the top. Then I can screw it into the wall as well. Once I've done that one, I'll show you a clip of that. Just again to make sure that everything's not fixed as firmly as it can be, or be fixed into that wall and up into this batten, and it will make the right angles, because this pitch of this roof is 4 degrees. Should I hang on it? No, I'm not going to hang on it. Right, I'll show you a roundup when it's all done. Thanks for watching. So that is the finished ceiling. Well, not the finished ceiling. The finished battens for the ceiling. So that went quite well. Quite pleased with that. As you can see, like I said earlier, some rows have packers in, just to make sure the whole ceiling's flat. So that end needed the most packers on that wall. I think that's 6 and 5 mil there, 2 mil there, and that one needed 1 mil. But that's in now, so that's a good milestone. That one there was cut on the angle, so just the edge that's against the wall I cut at 4 degrees. Then I've also, as well as fixing it up into the cross battens, I've then also fixed through that last batten into the wall. And the same on this one. This one was cut on an angle, and I've also fixed through every middle point into the wall. So I just use my saw on an angle, set at 4 degrees to run through those. Those are what I fixed through into the wall. They're probably a bit long, but I've just got loads of them left, so I'm using those. These are what I used to fix the cross battens in, 45 mil, so just don't go through the top batten into the ceiling, into the actual metal. And that's it. Ready for plasterboarding. Then when I get into the electrics, most of my electrics are actually going to run through the ceiling and down the walls, rather than cut through every stud to get to the sockets there and there. Heater there, socket there, socket there. I'm going to actually run the cables up here in this void and down. And that should mean I need to cut less of the insulation away for the wires. Right, tomorrow I think I will be doing something else. See you then.